One Zambia, one nation. Hello and welcome to the news. I am your presenter, Henry Himonde. A look at the top stories. Zambia celebrates 59 years of independence. Zambia to replicate German model of its gender machinery. And rehabilitation works on the Kasama-Mbala road progressing well. Now the news in detail. Tanzanian President Samia Hassan has given Zambia 20 hectares of land at Mtwara dry port for storage of goods and trade facilitation. Dr. Hassan allocated the land as a gift to Zambia during celebrations to mark the country's 59th independence anniversary in Lusaka. The Tanzanian president is in the country on a 3-day state visit and graced Zambia's Independence Day. Chimangeni Banda has the details.
Visiting Tanzanian President Samia Hassan says the country remains committed to enhancing bilateral ties and trade with Zambia. Dr. Hassan, who presided over Zambia's 59th Independence Day celebrations at State House in Lusaka, said there is need for both countries to build on the legacy and fruits of liberation heroes in order to improve people's livelihoods and welfare. The Tanzanian head of state has since given Zambia land at the port to help with storage of goods and trade facilitation, and challenged the Zambian businesses to seize the opportunity.
In the spirit of having people at the center of our initiatives, and in line with our ambition to further ease business between our two countries, my government has made a decision to allocate 20 hectares of land at the Kwala Dry Port in coastal region of Tanzania for consignments destined for Zambia. Furthermore, Zambia will be facilitated with a longer storage period, and this move will reduce congestion and delays and ultimately reduce costs for doing business in Zambia.
Dr. Hassan also pledged to work with President Hakainde Hichilema to improve the two countries' shared infrastructure for the benefit of Zambians.
Recognizing the need to ensure energy security and adequate power supply for our industries, we continue in our endeavor to link the Southern African Power Pool with the Eastern Power Pool. Understanding the need to leave new milestone of our own, we will continue in our commitment to transform the existing Tanzania-Zambia Mafuta pipeline, Tazama, and construct a new natural gas pipeline from Dar es Salaam to Zambia.
And President Hichilema said African countries must expedite economic social transformation in order for ordinary citizens to benefit from the fruits of colonial liberation.
Now, to be honest, to carry on the agenda of economic and social liberation, accelerated development, equitous distribution of resources, developmental resources, for investment, for trade, so we can grow the economy, we can create jobs for our people. First, education, hence the free education, madam. We're very proud that since we delivered the free education policy, classrooms are overflowing with children who were out of school. We're very proud of that.
President Hichilema assured that Zambia will ensure that the Tazara corridor becomes the cornerstone for trade, investment, and movement of people in fostering regional peace and development.
Tazara corridor remains a cornerstone to the development of these corridors, so we can trade, we can jointly invest, so we can let our people travel for business or for leisure or to see relatives from the Indian Ocean in Dar es Salaam to the Atlantic Ocean in Lobito, in Walvis Bay.
The 59th Independence Day celebrations saw several Zambians and foreign nationals recognized for their contributions to the country's development process, among them Chief Mpezeni of the Ngoni people and Sampa the Great. The celebrations were not short of pomp, splendor, and a festive mood. Chimangeni Banda, Zanis, State House, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, President Hakainde Hichilema this morning led President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Hassan, and other diplomats accredited to Zambia in laying wreaths at the Freedom Statue to commemorate Zambia's 59th independence anniversary. Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu told Zanis that he is proud that under the new Dawn administration, government has managed to sustain peace and stability, stressing that peace is the cornerstone of national development. Here are the details.
Erected in 1974, 10 years after Zambia's independence, the Freedom Statue has remained a symbol of the peace the country has continued to enjoy. Situated along Independence Avenue, the Freedom Statue has been the center of ceremonial national and international events. To mark 59 years of independence, Republican President Hakainde Hichilema led the guest of honor, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, and diplomats accredited to Zambia in laying wreaths punctuated by hymns played by the 2nd Infantry Battalion of the Zambia Army. In his homily, Ministry of Defense Chief Chaplain General, Brigadier General Reverend Henry Matifeo, took time to explain the theme and recognized Zambia's relationship with Tanzania and the region.
Commander-in-Chief of the Zambia Defense Force, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, distinguished guests, Salam alaikum, Jambo, Karibu sana. We commemorate this 59th anniversary of Zambia's independence under the theme Accelerating National Development Through Equitable Distribution. In essence, we are stating that we are in a hurry to ensure that development reaches all in an equitable manner. Our two nations, Your Excellencies, were founded on the principles of working together. What affected our brothers and sisters during the liberation struggles affected us all in the region.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbu, stressed the value of peace in a country's development.
As you are aware, peace is the cornerstone of any development. If there is no peace in a country, you cannot entice any investors to come. That is why the President has always been emphasizing that we have to ensure that there is law and order in the country.
A senior citizen and vice chairman of the Zambia United Freedom Fighters Association, Chapa Chikamba, has urged youth in the country to be enterprising if Zambia is to achieve meaningful development, while the mayor of the city of Lusaka described the importance of the celebration and wished Zambians well.
That political independence without economic independence becomes meaningless until we as Zambians begin to be the manufacturers of goods and services. And so my appeal to young Zambians is, let us revive the spirit of enterprise.
Celebrate what we've gone through all these 59 years, and I would like to wish the people of Zambia a very peaceful nation and a happy Independence Day.
The 59th Independence Anniversary is celebrated under the theme Accelerating National Development Through Equitable Distribution of Resources. Lou Majila reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
We now give you some of the highlights of Zambia's National Day as compiled by Zanis reporters from across the country, beginning with Northwestern Province, where our staffer Mwiche Chipoya reports from Solwezi District that Provincial Minister Robert Liefu has urged citizens to continue promoting peace and unity under the national motto of One Zambia, One Nation to foster economic growth and development.
On 24th October 1964, Zambia gained independence from the British colony. And on 24th October every year, Zambians come together to celebrate this important day. Northwestern Province Minister Robert Liefu led scores of people in Solwezi District to celebrate Zambia's 59th anniversary.
We can develop a more powerful and prosperous Zambia if we continue with the values and principles of inclusivity, diversity, hard working, and unity. This is the sure way to end social imbalances, poverty, illiteracy, corruption, and any other forces that may threaten the peace we enjoy as a country, Zambia.
Solwezi Municipal Council Mayor Remy Kalepa says equal distribution of resources has created a positive impact on the community members.
Equitable distribution of resources is a fundamental principle for ensuring fairness and justice within society. We are experiencing equal opportunities through resources such as CDF, where many of our community members are benefiting in education, healthcare, among others.
Northwestern Province Chairperson for Freedom Fighters, Eunice Sebele, commended government for recognizing freedom fighters.
On behalf of all members of the freedom fighters in Northwestern Province, I wish to take this opportunity to applaud and appreciate the effort by Udon government to accord dignity to freedom fighters, effort to create Zambia we live in.
This year's independence celebration has been observed under the theme Accelerating National Development through Distribution of Equitable Resources. Mwiche Chipoya for Zanis, Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
And in Northern Province, freedom fighters in Kasama District have called for the prudent utilization of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, in Northern Province. Freedom Fighters Provincial Secretary Kapembwa Simuchile said CDF has potential to bring the much-needed development to the province if used for the intended purpose. More in the following report.
Kasama residents joined the nation in celebrating the country's 59th independence. The event, which was characterized by songs, dances and demonstrations depicting on how the country was liberated from colonial rule, was officiated by Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao.
The theme for this year's anniversary, also known as the political independence without sustainable development, is meaningless. Our independence should therefore be used as a vehicle for achieving inclusive development and prosperity. Our independence will be fatal as long as poverty levels in our province remain high. Let's continue to work towards reducing poverty, vulnerability, and inequality, especially among the youth and women folk.
Freedom fighters called on the prudent use of Constituency Development Fund, CDF.
Coming the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, we see more development in the country. Provided that people managing it must be strict by ensuring that money is spent on development that it is intended for.
Meanwhile, Kasama Mayor Teresa Kolala emphasized the need to preserve the country's culture.
A way to take pride, celebrate and respect our local country, rich history, culture and tradition, most importantly, that day makes us all remember the core values of our country.
This year's independence celebrations were held under the theme accelerating national development through equitable distribution of resources. Chibibi Nyongani reporting for Zanis in Kasama District North.
Scores of Mungu residents today turned up in large numbers to celebrate Zambia's 59th Independence Day commemorations held at Mungu Sports Stadium. Western Province Permanent Secretary Momo Akapelwa officiated at the event and called on citizens to unite and embrace one another. Details in this report by Darlington Kavambe.
Western Province Permanent Secretary Akapelwa Momo has called on all citizens in the province to promote and preserve peace in the nation. Mr. Smomo said this during the 59th commemoration of Zambia's independence held at Mungu Sports Stadium in Western Province.
The fight for independence and the victory thereof is a reminder to us that unity in diversity is paramount if we are to achieve anything as a nation. This is demonstrated by our forefathers who came together and fought for the emancipation of this country as a team. Compatriots, be reminded that time has come for us as a nation to ride on our cultural diversity as a strength. We must embrace one another and see to it that we conquer the common challenges confronting us as a nation. Let the passing of time not make us negate the value of the contribution that each one of us makes to the strengthening of this nation. As the saying goes, united we stand, divided we fall.
And the Barroso Royal Establishment has urged government to fight hunger and poverty in the nation.
Freedom from poverty, freedom from hunger, freedom from lack of development. And we are happy at DRE to notice that actually the UPND is leading its way.
Meanwhile, Zambia Army Chaplain Mukenani Strawa in his homily said the following.
Everyone will get a share that is deemed to him as a need. Therefore, as we see our theme for this year, equitable distribution, it means that the government will share the resources of the nation as it sees a place or a locality in need. Therefore, it will be given that allocation to that locality.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary Akapelwa Momo laid wreaths at the cenotaph at Mungu Civic Center in remembrance of the independence freedom fighters. This year's 59th independence celebrations was held under the theme Accelerating National Development Through Equitable Distribution of Resources. Darlington Kavambe reporting in Mungu District, Western.
To Eastern Province now, where David Kaunda Stadium in Chipata District was filled to capacity as people from different walks of life gathered to join in commemorating the country's 59th independence anniversary. More in the following report.
In commemoration of the 59th independence in Zambia, unity, peace, and hard work has been emphasized. This year, the 59th independence theme is interpreted leaning towards developing the nation.
Bantawino, tenti zizindikira, kuti ufulume umeleti na opano, chitukuko chimeleti na chopano, kuyamerana chikera tukuta, kuyamerana ferapo, mchifukwa chake, kuti mtendere upite patsogolo, kuti chitukuko chipite patsogolo, ifetiriko, tifunika tipitirize, chitozobulo sipenana kuchita.
It is important to recognize the significance of independence.
Choyambirira chamena natsira makolo watu a President Kenneth Kaunda michone na kuti chikondane wina ndi mzache ndiye mau yamena analusebenzesa. Chachiwiri anani na kuti one Zambia one nation. Utanthauza kuti pasakale sanko ya mtundu
kapena kala ya mutundu chifukwa tonse ndi samodzi.
For the public, this day will forever be celebrated as Zambia was liberated from slavery.
Watapangana kuti tiyeni tichite kampeni, dziko lino likhale la munthu wakuda, dziko lino linakhala la munthu wakuda. Waja wanthu kunali Kalanga Galaundi, kunali Chiti Mkulu, kunali Luwanika, kunali Komboka, kunali mafumu wena wose amene anatenga iye hale mwanga kumbula pamodzi na Kaunda kupita ku Britain. Mwendo wache zizaesa mkulu mutu wache zizaesa chipanda chomwera ziki zizamcheka. One Zambia.
Now, Vice President Mtalena Lumango says government has embarked on an ambitious and robust plan to rebuild the country socially and economically to maintain the bond of unity that the forefathers exhibited during the independence struggle. Mrs. Nalumango says this is the reason government is distributing national resources in an equitable manner to all parts of the country. The Vice President says this is demonstrated in different areas where a number of empowerment programs and policies have been initiated, such as the Free Education and Constituency Development Fund, CDF. The Vice President said this last night when she officiated at the hoisting of the flag on the eve of the independence in Lusaka. Mrs. Nalmango further implored people to understand what the colors on the national flag symbolize and educate the young ones on the same. And speaking at the same event, Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Mulyata urged Zambians to remain united even after the independence celebrations.
Celebration theme. Government hopes to accelerate this plan through equitable distribution of our resources. The new government is committed to distributing the national resources in an equitable manner to all parts of the nation. This is unity. This is demonstrated in such areas as free education policy, massive increase of the Constituency Development Fund, restoration of student allowances, and a number of other related government programs. This shows unity. The new government administration is encouraging all well-meaning Zambians and the other stakeholders to stand up and be counted on the positive side of this accelerated national development agenda.
And we will rejoice and be glad in this day. At 59 years of independence, to every Zambian, may God bless you, may God bless Zambia, and may God bless all of us.
Government says it will replicate the model that Germany has used to structure its gender machinery. Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika has noted that Germany's gender structure is very strong at grassroots level and that Zambia's vision is to get to such levels. Ms. Kabika says government will ensure it gets closer to the people through the decentralization policy so that structures are not only strong at the national level but trickle down to the grassroots. She was speaking in Berlin, Germany during the engagement meeting on women's political participation. Ms. Kabika observed that positions of leadership in women in Germany are more than what Zambia has, explaining that women parliamentarians in Zambia stand at 15% and approximately 10% at local government level, while Germany is at 34% of women in parliament. She has called on political parties in Zambia to have quota systems in their party constitutions to ensure that 30% of positions are reserved for women.
I've had a lot of takeaways from here. Our exchange tour was really beneficial. Very impressed with the way Germany has structured its gender machinery and the way they have mainstreamed right up to the grassroots level. Their structure is very heavy at grassroots level, and we are hoping that we're also going to get there because this is our vision. We'd actually like to ensure that we get closer to the people and ensure that we provide the service at that level. So we are looking forward to ensure that we also speak to the decentralization so that we're not only heavy at the national level, but we should go closer to the people. Here, the positions of women in leadership are much more than we have in Zambia, because in Zambia we only have 15.4% of women in parliament and approximately 10% of women at local government leadership. But here they are approximately 34% in parliament, and those are the numbers we are looking forward to get to. We are hoping to have the quotas, and I would also like to take advantage of this opportunity to encourage all political parties to embed the quotas in their constitution so that they ensure that they have they reserve 30% of the positions in the parties for women. This is what we want to get to as a nation as well, so that at the national level we have 30% minimum at be it at cabinet level and be it at parliamentary level, local government leadership, as well as government institutions, and also this should be spread to the private sector as well.
Now, Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata has assured traders in Central Province of unselective government support. Mr. Kapata says he will work closely with the civic and market leadership to identify traders in markets that require booster loans in order to boost their capital. More in the following report.
The contributions of marketeers to the economy cannot be overlooked. However, marketeers have to make ends meet with little capital. Marketeers in Kabwe district have appealed to President Hakainde Hichilema and his administration for booster loans.
Batwafuyirisheko nga fwe bana mayo kwena mwandini mama nene twakotera nokukotera pano pene nomba utuma capital twalibo twatushupa mulandu wakuti ati abantu tabaleyingira abengi muno mukati nomba everybody tampo okuingira
apa shambukeleko kala kabusangu batupele twazungirisha konda kamika kuti yamoneka msako imbawa bakutatwatwale milimo yesu kwantaji.
We're lacking on the market. Ni market place. We're lacking on the market. So chama twamono kuti ati ubuteko buletse kamana bana marketeers. Watu mano kweba ati before mwise mtu mone amafya tuleshingwa na yeye.
Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata has assured the marketeers that their concerns will receive attention from the head of state.
Number one, marketeer booster loan. Namulando kwebati business ile muneka kukwatira ni muri mota y'ingwino limo emkwai so murefo wa afirishe kuri government yenu kwebati makwata ko turotuma loan utuma booster loan mwachita ko bwino pano emkwai echikalamba na chumfa mkwai. Number 2, namulanda mwebe ni kwebati limo abantu bale safira fininga bayingira but bambya abantu bala babize nga bayingira pepa munshumo bashitabayanishi bali kunuma takulifyabo.
Meanwhile, Kabwe Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Nancy Chenga says the local authority is aware of the challenges marketeers are facing at green markets.
Find our engagement with the CBFC committees, the WPCs, and the area member of parliament to ensure that we upgrade this market. So very soon we will say that we are going to float a new design that we are going to put up for green markets, a new design that will be friendly, a new design that will have the inlets exactly that what they were talking about.
Zanis reports in Kabwe, Central Province.
And finally, works on the rehabilitation of the Kasama, Mbala and other roads in Northern Province are progressing well. This has cheered both Provincial Minister Leonard Mbao and motorists who are using the roads. Take a look at this report.
Not long ago, this was the state of some portions along the Kasama Mbala Mpurungu, Kasama Mpika and Kasama Luungu roads in Northern Province. However, rehabilitation works have commenced and progressing well following the release of 16.5 million kwacha by the government. Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao, who inspected the works, is happy with the progress made so far.
What RDA is doing is quite commendable. This road we thought it was poor, but we can see to say that there is still life in this road, and we have seen a lot of potholes coming up, which that really pose the danger that maybe we have lost the road. But with the intervention that RDA is doing, I think you can see even the vehicles that are passing here, they are moving without problems. But thanks to the new Dawn administration, we are able to release funds on a timely basis so that we are able to mend these roads.
RDA Regional Manager Ben Kashimoto accompanied the minister to check on the progress of the rehabilitation works.
We are planning that we'll do major rehabilitation from Pika up to Prungu, so that we don't continue doing the patching like we're doing. I think we need to do a long-term intervention on this road. It's a very, very important road for us here in the Northern Province. We are committed to what by the onset of the rains, most of the critical areas will be done.
And some motorists talked to have thanked government for the timely intervention.
Ofo balemenda ma potholes natwamba okwenda ko fast kufuma paka samo kuya kumbala, but at the moment bafikire pamwiluzi then pace bale bombera pona ena ili very slow such that tuletontonkanya ti rain season kuti yafika nishi tabala puisha bomba kwena wale bomba fe buno sana.
For Zanis in Mbala, I am Patrick Kabwe.
Patrick Kabwe's report brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, let's take another look at the top stories. Zambia celebrates 59 years of independence. Zambia to replicate German model of its gender machinery. And rehabilitation works on the Kasama Mbala road progressing well. Thank you so much for watching the news. On behalf of the production team, my name is Henry Himonde. Until next time, it's goodbye.